And I know we have a lot of fires that are burning. A lot of people have some fear tonight. They see these fires burning, and that is horrifying. I will say that. And again, as we get good information, we'll pass that on to you. I'm not going to pass along rumors. We'll pass along things from official sources. But we're seeing that lowered area right here, which would be the possibility of debris being lofted by a tornado that's approaching Highway 171. And again, I stress for those of you mamas and daddies with students down here at the University of Alabama, it might be spring break week there, but still a lot of folks concerned about Tuscaloosa, UA. This is all north of the city. The city of Tuscaloosa is here. City of Northport is here. You can see where the tornado warning is located. This is far north of there. Again, here's the split, 171 going up to Fayette, 43 going up to Lake Tuscaloosa. This is going to clip the far northern part of Lake Tuscaloosa. But again, nobody should be on 171 or 43 north of Northport, and the same thing for Highway 69 up here around Windham Springs up toward the Walker County line. That possible tornadic circulation very close to the town of Brownville on Highway 171. And next, that'll be crossing Highway 43. Most likely, it's going to be crossing Highway 43 north of Samantha, north of Northside High School, Walker Elementary School, which is right here. But again, everybody up here, the community of Gorgas sits right here. And again, Taylor's suggesting that we might have two circulations here, and that could easily happen with a situation like this, with these type of dynamics we have. So again, Taylor, any damage reports out of Tuscaloosa? I've not heard of any. Tuscaloosa County so far?
None yet. I know we had that debris signature at one point, so I assume that there were at least some trees or something that has been damaged from this. But let's see here. We have the debris signature noted on radar, which we were just talking about. So far, I've just seen reports coming in from that Sumter County circulation near Livingston. But as of for the moment, I have not seen any reports of damage at this point. But we did have that debris signature, so that tells us that there was something being lofted, whether that be just tree limbs, leaves, that could be. But at this point, haven't seen any reports in the chat or anything like that. But still showing pretty good rotation here on this. Let me switch between the Columbus radar and the Birmingham radar. I'm getting different vantage points. We're looking at different heights in this storm, and it does appear that we still have what could be two circulations, one to the north of Brownville and then one to the south of Brownville. And these are both moving to the northeast at about 50-55 miles per hour. So if you live in Gorgas, you're going to want to stay in that safe place. You should already be there anyway, but stay in that safe place. Let's take a closer look here using correlation coefficient, and we definitely have what appears to be a tornado on the ground at this point south of Brownville. That is a pretty good indication that we've got debris being lofted. So there we go. There's that confirmation. It's going to be moving in the general direction that it's likely going to cross somewhere in between Gorgas and Samantha here, but that's probably the best debris signature we've seen all day. So we have at this point what is now a confirmed tornado on the ground, and you're seeing that debris signature grow, which means we are likely dealing with a tornado that is still on the ground and lofting quite a bit of debris. So when we start to see those blues show up, this is moving very close to Brownville at this point, moving towards the Montgomery Lakes community. This is moving towards State Route 171, so it's going to be crossing over 171 here pretty soon. And I'm going to say a couple different road names, and if these roads sound familiar to you, if you know anybody that lives on these roads, or make sure you're giving them a call. Make sure you're letting them know, hey, there's a tornado on the ground. This is going to be moving in the general direction of Harless Road, Brown Road, what looks to be Mormon Road. Let's see here. Old Fayette Road would be next up as well. North Side Road, this remember is in Tuscaloosa County. So if you know anybody that lives in and around these roads, give them a call, give them a text, or if you live near one of these roads, you need to be in that safe place. We're talking about now what is a tornado on the ground.
Don't fool with this.
Yeah.
Do not fool around with this. This is serious business. We've got a tornado that's down. This is confirmed. North Tuscaloosa County. It's right on Highway 171 right now at Brownville. And again, what's going to happen, it's going to move up this way and it's going to cross Highway 43. Again, Samantha's here, Northside High School, Walker Elementary School. This will be near or just north of there. And again, if you're anywhere near Samantha, you've got to be sheltered. You've got to be sheltered now. And what you're going to do is have a helmet on. You're going to have a bicycle helmet, a batting helmet, a motorcycle helmet, anything you can to protect your head. And you cannot be in a manufactured home. You cannot be in a car. You can't do that. And do not walk outside and think you're going to see this. You have no hope if that's the case. This thing is rain wrapped. You can't see it. But again, there's the debris signature right now. It's crossed over Highway 171. The tornado is now east of Highway 171. And next up, it's going to be crossing U.S. Highway 43. So this is a confirmed tornado that is down in northern Tuscaloosa County with a tornado debris signature confirmed by radar. And again, this is an urgent situation where we need everybody to be sheltered, okay? That's your tornado right here, east of Highway 171. This is U.S. Highway 43 right here. The community of Gorgas is here. The community of Samantha is right here. Wyndham Springs back behind my head. That's on just off Highway 69. Nobody should be driving on U.S. 43 from Northport north up to the Fayette County line. Nobody should be driving on Alabama Highway 69 from Northport up to the Walker County line. Nobody. You don't want to be driving. The worst possible place to be is in a car in a situation like this. And again, for everybody in these neighborhoods up in here, you've got to stay sheltered. We can now give an all clear for those along Highway 171 or points west from this tornado. Remember, you got the line of storms you're dealing with. And again, I would stay in a safe place until the rain settles down and the wind settles down. When the line passes east of you, that's it. The risk of severe weather is ended for tonight. But again, this tornado is headed right toward Highway 43. And it's going to be near or just north of the community of Samantha. And from there, it's going to cross Highway 69 if it stays down, probably near or north of Wyndham Springs. And if it stays down, it could wind up in Walker County. So this is an urgent situation for people in northern Tuscaloosa County, a confirmed tornado debris signature. It's there. No doubt about that. And again, you've got to be sheltered. So that's the current position right there. And again, you can see it's getting awfully close to Highway 43. Now, I don't want to leave out Greene County. So let's go back to Greene County really quickly. We're going to bounce back and forth between this and the other tornado warning we have here. And remember, everybody's going to deal with this line of storms. So let's look at velocity. And we're going to take a look at Greene County, and we have evidence of broad circulation. That's not really a classic tornado signature. Broad circulation that is passing north of Forkland in the vicinity of Utah. Really not showing evidence of a tornado here at this point, but still, stay sheltered. Forget tornadoes. You got that line of storms with a chance of damaging straight line winds. Tornado damage has been reported with this back in Livingston in Sumter County. So again, at the moment, we're not seeing strong evidence of a tornado here, but with the line itself, you could see damaging straight line winds. We have a multi-threat night tonight. Gradient winds, damaging winds with the line of storms, and a few isolated tornadoes. So again, we're not seeing evidence of a tornado in Greene County, but wind damage, a distinct possibility. I would stay sheltered. As long as you're in that polygon, the warning stays in effect until 9:45. Let's go back now to northern Tuscaloosa County for a well-defined tornadic circulation that is located north of Northport, between Northport and the Fayette County line, that's located just off to the northwest of Samantha. And again, you can see on the debris tracker that lowered correlation coefficient. And this is going to be passing between Samantha and New Lexington. That's on the Fayette County line. The community of Gorgas is right here. This is Wyndham Springs along Highway 69. And again, that's your tornado debris signature right here. It's getting awfully close to Highway 43. It's probably almost on US 43 now. I'd say it's passing maybe 3 or 4 miles north of Northside High School. But if you're in the Polygon, you got to stay sheltered. So that would include everybody in the community of Samantha or near the schools there. But again, that debris signature is going to be crossing Highway 43 in a matter of minutes and then continuing moving out into the northeastern part of Tuscaloosa County. And I'm not going to waste time showing you sky cams from Tuscaloosa because you can't see anything at this point. This warning will stay in effect until 9:45. And again, the Weather Service is showing a thunderstorm near Samantha moving northeast at 50. These things are flying through here. And we've got Bill Castle and Stephen Quinn. They are in the process of moving down into Walker County to intercept this cell. And they should be coming down toward Oakman. And again, they're on Highway 69 right now. So again, if this stays down, we do have a crew that will be intercepting this. And again, even with the crew almost right there, they're not going to be able to see much because of the rain. So again, an all clear from this tornadic circulation from Alabama 171 west. You're good from the tornadic circulation. But again, it's about to cross Highway 43, US 43. This is about 20 miles north of Tuscaloosa. And the good news, the lowering has started to fade. Let's go back to the velocity, and I think we've lost the velocity signature as well. There's still broad rotation here, but this is not the tight circulation you would typically associate with a tornado. So I think there's a decent chance that our tornado might, at this point, maybe it was choked off within this and it's gone, but again, it could cycle back up again. That was the case. We had this for a while in Pickens County. We lost the signature. It came back. And again, we'll just kind of sit back and wait and see if this cycles up one more time. It's 9:28 now. I'm James Spann with Taylor Serralo back in the Weather Center working a severe weather event tonight. And I want to very quickly show the big picture and our line of storms reflectivity. Let's do a reset here for a lot of folks that are just joining us. So let's go out to the longer view. And again, you can see a line of storms that's somewhat, it's noisy, it's messy. This is not a really sharp line, but it's running from near Haleyville down to about Eldridge, Samantha and Tuscaloosa County, down to Utah and Greene County to near Demopolis. And we've got severe thunderstorm warnings up here in the Tennessee Valley. The Weather Service in Huntsville issuing severe thunderstorm warnings here, but Winston County and Walker County not under any type of warning at this point other than a high wind warning for the gradient winds. And again, it's hard messaging this in that we have three problems. Gradient wind, not related to storms. We have straight line winds with the line of storms and the chance of isolated tornadoes. So there's a lot of things happening here, but again, we don't have any warnings in relationship with the line for Walker or Winston counties at this point. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of southern Fayette, northern Tuscaloosa counties for the line segment, and the tornado warnings, obviously, are the flashing red polygons we have here. This line will be in Tuscaloosa pretty soon. Again, the good news, you know, Taylor, I've just not heard of any widespread damage with the line. The bigger problems have been the gradient winds today before the storms arrived, which is good. And if that continues to be the case, the Weather Service might decide not to issue severe thunderstorm warnings for a little bit. But when these circulations pop up, you've got to be careful. You've got to keep your head on a swivel here. I mean, these things pop up and they can get down and they can cause a lot of problems here. So we have two polygons, one for a pretty good chunk of Greene County, one for the small segment of northern Tuscaloosa County. So let's go back to Greene County. We'll start on the southernmost storm and see if we can find evidence of a tornado down here. And again, the warnings are set to expire in 15 minutes at 9:45. So let's look at velocity. And no, there's no evidence of a tornado in Greene County at this point. Straight line winds, yes, you could see very strong straight line winds, but again, for now, we do not see any really strong evidence of a tornado. Let's go to northern Tuscaloosa County for the second polygon up here. And again, evidence of strong straight line winds, but we don't have that classic signature. This is what's left of that broad circulation we've been watching here. It's right on Highway 43 near the town of Gorgas, north of Samantha. It's broad, though. It's not the tight circulation we saw earlier. And now it's a matter of waiting and watching. And if it stays broad, the Weather Service will allow both of these to expire in 15 minutes at 9:45. And just maybe we'll go without a warning at 9:45 for anything. We'll see. But again, it's been a really rough night. I will tell you, there are so many fires that are burning across our state. It's just horrifying. For if you were in a neighborhood and you can see flames out your backyard. We've had trees falling on power lines. The power lines arc, fires start, and with these excessive winds, the fires have just absolutely spread very, very quickly through the state tonight. Let's go to WEX 05 really quick. This is coming from Shaco Springs Road. This is north of Talladega. And again, you know, Shaco Springs is a popular place where a lot of folks go to conferences and events there. Youth groups go there a lot. I don't know if there's been any damage to Shaco Springs. This is on Shaco Springs Road. And I want to stress we've heard of no damage to that. So that was coming from Talladega Fire and Rescue. This is coming from Coosa County. And again, this is more example of what people are seeing here tonight, these fires fanned by the flames. That's down in Coosa County tonight. And again, we've had major fires in Talladega. This is coming from Sawyer Mountain Road near Aniana. And a lot of folks in Aniana are greatly concerned about that fire. And again, we'll watch this carefully. If we get any official information, we'll pass that along here. So we're dealing with so many things here: tornadoes, winds, fires, down trees and power lines. I've heard of no locust plagues tonight, but at the rate we're going, who knows? It's raining in Birmingham, just pouring rain, raining in Tuscaloosa. The main line of storms, the one we've been watching all night, coming through Louisiana and Mississippi, it's right here. Double Springs, down to Natural Bridge, down to Eldridge, down to about Berry, down to about Coker, and then down to Utah and Forkland and near Demopolis. And we now have a tornado warning for Perry County, which is interesting in that that's out ahead of that line. The Perry County's in the Montgomery DMA, but let's look at that, Taylor, because a lot of people watch us here and online. And yeah, there you go. So a possibility of a tornado just south of Marion, and this is going to be moving northeast like this. So again, if Marion is in the Polygon, MMI, Marion Military Institute, this is Highway 5, Heiberger sits about right here. So just be aware that a tornado is possibly down in Perry County, and that will be coming up through the eastern part of Perry County. The town of Sprott is located right here. That's Alabama Highway 5 coming down out of Brent, Heiberger here, Marion here, Sprott here. So just be aware that that is moving up. And if that thing holds together, you got Bibb County here, which is one of our counties. But again, Perry County is in the Montgomery television market. So we'll let Josh and our friends down there kind of handle that for you, but we'll watch that carefully. And again, we will, as long as we're here, we'll cover that. We're going to bounce back and forth between these. So let's go back up to Tuscaloosa County, and we're going to look at this one. And again, you can see the broad circulation that's left over right here, which is now east of US 43. So for this circulation, we can give an all clear from US 43 west. The broad circulation is now east of Highway 43 right here, coming up near the Fayette County line. Berry is here. This is Boley Springs. This is in Fayette County. And again, that circulation is moving in this direction. So again, if you're in Boley Springs, you've had tornado issues over the years too. It's kind of like Sawyerville. You call out these smaller communities and you think of the bad luck they've had even back to April 27, 2011. But there's no tornado warning for Fayette County. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Fayette County for the line itself. That severe thunderstorm warning includes Fayette County, eastern Fayette County, and the northern part of Tuscaloosa County. But that broad circulation is now east of US 43, moving up toward that boot heel, that easternmost part of Fayette County. Not the most classic tornado signature here, but still, it certainly bears watching. So again, a small segment of northern Tuscaloosa County under a tornado warning for this broad circulation that is now east of Highway 43, north of Gorgas, east of New Lexington, about to cross the Fayette County line, and we'll see how that works out. Let's go back to Greene County. And again, these tornado warnings are set to expire at 9:45 this evening. And see right here, that's what's left of the circulation. This is near the dog track, the old green track facility right here, the Union exit, if you will. The track is probably right here. It looks like it's a little east of the track of Green Track. But again, we've got evidence of circulation here. This is Knoxville. This is Ralph. This is southwestern Tuscaloosa County. And again, it's not the most classic signature in the world. In dealing with these things, it's not easy. I mean, I'm telling you, I am so glad I don't work the warning desk at the Weather Service. It's not easy. You do not want to generate false alarms, but at the same time, you don't want to miss a tornado. And when do you press the button? When do you keep your finger off that warning button? And that's hard. It is tough working in that hot seat. So we'll see what they do with this. But again, this circulation is about to move out of Greene County and will affect the southern part of Tuscaloosa County. And everybody needs to watch this. Again, everybody needs to be weather aware tonight until the line of storms passes. But again, the good news we can tell you, once this line passes, that's it. It is a one and done kind of night. We got a tornado warning for parts of Marengo County. Want to look at that, Taylor, real quick? This is going to be down to the south of here. This is going to be for southern Marengo County, for this thing right here. That's near the old James River, and it's on the Tom Bigby. And that circulation is going to be coming out here towards Sweetwater, Half Acre, Nanophilia. Linden is right here. So, again, a tornado warning for the southern part of Marengo County. If you're down in this does not include Demopolis. Demopolis, you've got a warning to the north, a warning to the south. You're not under any type of warning at this point, but again, possibly a tornado in the far, far southwestern part of Marengo County. And again, Half Acre, Nanophilia, Sweetwater, Dixon's Mills, Linden, Thomaston, Dayton. Any of these places in Marengo County, just be aware that you're under a warning. You need to be sheltered until the line of storms passes. And again, even if there's no tornado, the winds could be very strong in that line segment. So that's South Marengo County. Let's go back up to Perry County. And again, this is a pretty good looking signature right here. That might be one of the best ones of the night. Yeah, we got a tornado down. See it right here? That's a tornado down just south of downtown Marion, a little to the east of Alabama Highway 5. This is Alabama Highway 14 right here. And nobody should be along Highway 14 from Sprott down to US 80. Nobody. That's a tornado that is down in Perry County, just south of Marion. Tornado debris signature, a TDS. And again, this is, if you know anybody in this part of Perry County, call them, text them, wake them up. You got a problem here. Let them know they've got to be in a safe place. They can't be driving. If they live in a manufactured home, they have to be in a shelter. And again, this tornado is going to be moving northeast. And remember, Bibb County sits right here. And we'll see the quality of air is not that good up here. There's no instability, and we're hoping that that will mitigate this thing to, continuing. But if it keeps on keeping on, it might wind up affecting parts of Bibb County. So we have a tornado down in Perry County moving towards the north-northeast, and that'll be crossing Highway 14 near the town of Sprott pretty soon. So that's our warning for Perry County. Let's go back up to the northern Tuscaloosa County. So we're going to bounce back and forth between storms. Again, there's the approximate arrival times on your screen. We'll be bouncing back and forth between these. We now have a tornado warning for parts of Fayette and Walker counties. A new tornado warning for parts of Fayette and Walker County. This includes Boley Springs. This includes Berry. If you are in Berry, Boley Springs, Pea Ridge, got to be sheltered. This would include Carbon Hill. This would include Eldridge. Jasper is right here. You can see the Polygon is just west of Jasper. So this is for the circulation that is coming out of northern Tuscaloosa County. And again, it's not really a classic circulation here, but based on the wind dynamics of this system, the right thing to do is to maintain that tornado warning. So again, Berry, be sheltered. Boley Springs, be sheltered. The town of Corona on Highway 18 right here, Alabama 18 in Walker County, need to be sheltered. Oakman is kind of just outside the Polygon. Downtown Oakman sits right here. This is Interstate 22. Nobody should be driving along Interstate 22 between Jasper and the Marion County line. Again, you've got Carbon Hill, you've got Eldridge in here, you've got the town of Kansas. And those are the approximate arrival times of this circulation on the screen here. So a tornado warning now for parts of eastern Fayette and western Walker counties. This does not include Cordova or Parrish or Dora or Summiton. This is for areas west of Jasper. It does include Thatch and again, Carbon Hill, Eldridge, Interstate 22, nobody driving on Interstate 22 or the old Highway 78, Alabama Highway 118 out here. So eastern Fayette County, western Walker County, be sheltered right now. It's a pretty decent looking circulation on radar. The tornado warning in effect for these two counties will be in effect until 10:30. So we're going to be here until at least 10:30 with this. And again, this is a severe storm capable of producing a tornado near Berry in Fayette County, moving towards the northeast at about 55 miles an hour. These things are racing. All right, so again, that's our call to action. Western Walker County, eastern Fayette County, you want to be sheltered. Possible tornado near Berry, moving like that. And that's the storm that's come out of Tuscaloosa County. That warning for Tuscaloosa County will be going out in 3 minutes here. Let's go back down to Greene County. And again, we're going to bounce back and forth between these various storms here. And again, there's just not much showing up in Greene County. We've got broad circulation now into southwest Tuscaloosa County down around Ralph. but it's very broad. So, but still, with the line of storms, there could be damaging straight line wind, but there's not really strong evidence of a tornado down here at Ralph. So let's go down to Perry County. This thing had a really nasty looking TDS a few minutes ago, a debris signature here. And again, you can see the concern right down here. We'll put the TDS back on the screen, and there it is. That is a tornado that is down, about to cross Highway 14 to the community of Sprott, or just south of there. And again, everybody needs to be sheltered. That is again, we've seen some of these signatures here tonight, and you certainly want to stay sheltered. That is an urgent thing to do. This is Alabama Highway 183 that goes back over toward US 82, but we have a tornado debris signature, a tornado that is down right here that's about to cross Alabama Highway 14 south of Sprott in Perry County. That is probably the most significant signature we've seen all night tonight. So that's the situation here. Let's go to southern Marengo really quickly. And again, everybody's watching on the YouTube and the Facebag and the Twitter and everything tonight. People can watch anywhere now. That's the one thing about the digital world. We have a tornado warning for southern Marengo County in effect. This would include Dayton, Thomaston, Sweetwater, Nantafilia, Dixon's Mills, Half Acre, because of the possibility of a tornado coming across the southern part of Marengo County. So let's expand this back out, and I'll just kind of show you the different areas we're watching in terms of tornado activity. We've got Greene County, and again, that's going to expire in, let's see, a minute and a half, 90 seconds. This one's going to go away. That one's going to go away. This is the one to watch for western Walker and eastern Fayette. Obviously, Perry County. That's a nasty-looking storm right there. That thing is out ahead of the line. It's by itself. And that is a very dangerous storm in Perry County, the one that's passing south of Sprott, and then the one in South Marengo County. But let's go back up into Fayette and Walker counties. And let's mention, too, there's a severe thunderstorm warning for the western part of Cullman County. This is for the chance of strong straight-line winds. And again, the Weather Service in Birmingham opting not to issue a warning for Winston. But the Weather Service is going to issue one for Coleman. They're different Weather Service offices with different philosophies. But the bottom line is everybody within the line. It's going to rain heavily. You'll see gusty winds. And again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the western part of Cullman County. This is for straight line winds. The tornado warning is in effect for eastern Fayette and western Walker County for the possibility of a spin-up tornado in here. I will say the signature is not especially strong. That signature came over Barry. I've not heard of any damage. Taylor, any damage reports over there? You're looking at a lot of sources.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from that storm in particular at this point. And looking at that signature, it does look like it's kind of broadened out a bit. But I've been checking on stuff, and I have not seen anything coming out of that storm recently. So we'll see what happens with that. And of course, we've seen some of these cycles. So of course, that's why the National Weather Service is continuing that tornado warning. So good idea there to keep that going. And regardless of whether or not we've got a circulation or a tornado on the ground, this is telling us that there's some really strong winds within that storm as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. But so far, have not seen any reports from that. The storm that we are seeing the reports from is going to be the storm that's in Perry County, where we have that tornado debris signature at this point.
And again, we're coming up on 9:45, so we have now lost a couple of our tornado warnings. They expired at 9:45, and we have a tornado warning in effect now for parts of eastern Fayette and western Walker counties right here. And again, it's a messy, convective night. It's just messy. And that's pretty routine for Alabama. It's not going to be one of these nights where I can show you exact spots. I can in some cases. In fact, that Perry County storm, I'll show you here in a second. But there's evidence of what could be a tornadic circulation coming through eastern Fayette and western Walker County. Jasper not in the Polygon. Carbon Hill is, Eldridge is, Corona is in the Polygon. Let's look at Oakman. Let's see how close we are. Oakman, I think, is just outside the Polygon. Oakman's going to be right here. Parrish is right here. This is Corona. And again, the possible circulation is moving right up here. So again, we don't advise travel on Interstate 22 between Jasper and the Marion County line for about the next 20 minutes or 30 minutes, I'd say. And you don't want to be driving in this anyway. And remember, the storms could produce pretty strong straight line winds, in addition to the chance of an isolated tornado. So let's put the velocity display back on here really quickly, and let's see if we can find a spot where there could be a tornado. And again, it's pretty broad. This thing is broadened out. That's not really a tornado signature right now. I can't show you a tornado because it's not there. Could it cycle back up? Yes. On the next volume scan, it might be right back. And as long as you see these flashing red polygons, you respect the polygon and you stay sheltered until the storms move on. So again, Interstate 22 from Jasper to the Marion County line, Alabama Highway 5 from Jasper back up toward Lynn. You want to stay sheltered and not driving on that highway, but that's our storm in Fayette and Walker. The circulation is awfully broad. Let's go back down to Marion County, or Perry County. And by the way, that's a circulation you see there in Bibb. But let's look at this one. And again, I want to look at and it looks like maybe this thing is broadened out, which is good. This is coming from Birmingham. We've still got that TDS. Sometimes debris stays aloft even after a tornado dissipates. Takes a while for it to get down. We've clearly got circulation here northeast of Sprott. But again, at the moment, it doesn't look as intense as it did about 5 or 10 minutes ago. But still, a tornado warning for Perry County. That rotation is moving northeast. And again, that's Alabama Highway 183 right here that runs over to Sprott from US 82. And that's Alabama Highway 219 right here that runs from Brent down to Selma. And that broad circulation is moving northeast, and Perry County remains under a tornado warning. We'll give Marion an all clear. If you're in Marion or points south and west, all of this is northeast of you. Marion is all the way down here. Circulation is here, moving that way. Uniontown, you're good, down in southern Perry County. So that's the Perry County storm. Let's check southern Marengo really quickly. This is going to be a circulation that is coming through southern Marengo, south of Demopolis. And again, right in through here. And this would be affecting the southern part of Marengo County. This is US 43 from Linden down toward Dixon's Mills. Alabama Highway 10 is down there in the southern part of the county. That's Alabama 10 right here, Dixon's Mills. And again, you can see Nanophilia, Half Acre, Linden, Calvary, Octagon. These are communities in South Marengo County, Dayton, Thomaston along Highway 25. Be sheltered as that storm is in Linden's in the Polygon. Linden is the county seat of Marengo County. You're in the Polygon as well. So a tornado warning for South Marengo County for the possibility of a tornado that's coming out of Choctaw County, across the Tombigbee, moving northeast, north-northeast. So let's say a tornado warning for southern Marengo County. Let's go back up to some of the other ones here. We'll take a look at the Walker and Fayette County storm. And this is the one that's in, right here in our territory course, and we're going to focus on this, and we just don't really see a tornadic circulation, and it's gone. I love it when you draw an X. I love it when Taylor draws an X on this map. It warms my heart because that means the warning has been canceled. And I think that's there's just nothing there. So the tornado warning for Walker and Fayette counties is gone. It's off the board. It's been canceled. So if you are in Fayette or Walker counties, you are no longer under a tornado warning. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect now for Tuscaloosa, parts of Hale, and parts of Bibb counties for the line, okay? So here's the line of storms. And again, you can see that line is coming into Tuscaloosa. Let's check that DCH camera, Taylor. What you got over there? I bet you it's starting to rock and roll. It's been, all these cameras have been shaking and baking all day with the wind.
Yeah, and right now we've got the rain. I think the line is just not quite to this camera site yet, but it's on its way, and it'll be here in a minute, and then definitely we'll start to see things pick up. But very wet. Fortunately, it doesn't look like there's all that many people out on the roads from this camera, which is good. Everybody should be at home or in your safe place because you've got that severe thunderstorm warning. And like we've been telling you all day, it's a good idea just to treat these severe thunderstorm warnings like tornado warnings, just because we could have these storms tap into some of those really strong winds right above the surface. But for the time being, this camera still looks fairly quiet, but it's not going to stay that way much longer. I do believe we're going to really start to see things pick up at this camera site here pretty soon as we watch that line move across the area. So I do want to see here. It does look like worth noting the National Weather Service is is looking at potentially extending that tornado watch farther eastward. They're going to check over some things. They're going to do some investigating on some of the different thermodynamic stuff going on in the east, and they're going to make a decision on that later. But once again, if you live in our easternmost counties, if you're not in a tornado watch now, don't let your guard down, because that could be extended farther eastward later in the evening. We're going to keep an eye on things, and we will be, of course, updating you on that as soon as we get that information in. I do want to clear some people from the severe threat. Let's do that. If you live in Marion County, your severe threat is, okay, we've got a new tornado warning, but if you live in Marion County, your severe threat is over. Same for Lamar County. But let's take a look at where that tornado warning is. So it includes portions of Bibb and Tuscaloosa. There we go. It's popping on the screen there, and you can kind of see this is another one of those storms that formed right out ahead of that line. So we are looking at some rotation with this. Definitely strong winds. There we go. It's just to the north of Eel Line, and it's moving in the general direction of West Blockton. And now, yes, Tuscaloosa County is included in this warning, but check it out. It is really, really just this small sliver here of Tuscaloosa County. It does not include downtown Tuscaloosa. This warning includes Vance and Lakeview. And so I-20 Lakeview to Vance is included in that. Does not include Coleman, does not include Brookwood. So for those of you in Tuscaloosa County, it's just going to be Vance, Lakeview in this. But this also does include West Blockton and Bibb County, Bibbville. This is going to be crossing over Highway 5 pretty soon as it continues northeastward. And I do have to say, this is rotation. I'm looking for the correlation coefficient, not seeing an indication that this is on the ground. But there we go. There's a little bit better view of that rotation there, headed in the general direction of West Blockton. Now, at this moment, this isn't giving me an indication that we've got a tornado on the ground, but it could be on the ground here soon. We've seen these cycle today, of course, as we typically do. And at the very least, you've got very strong winds on the way. So everybody in, let's say, the northern half of Bibb County should be in your safe place. That tornado warning does not include the city of Brent. Oh, I say that, and it looks like we might be getting a new tornado warning for more of Bibb County. So Brent, you are right on the edge of now another tornado warning. So much of Bibb County included in tornado warnings now, and this is going to be for that storm we were watching down in Perry County. You can see that circulation south of Brent. It's going to be crossing over from Perry County into the southern portions of Bibb County. It is crossing over 25 now. So this is going to be moving like this, headed in the general direction of Antioch, 6 Mile, Ashby, Oakley. You are included in that tornado warning polygon. It is time to take those tornado precautions. So that is going to be our southernmost circulation that is crossing over into Bibb County here pretty soon. I'm highlighting those cities for you. And then we've got this other circulation that is headed in the general direction of West Blockton. So if you are in West Blockton, you need to be taking those tornado precautions here. And that northern warning is going to include some portions of Tuscaloosa County, not downtown Tuscaloosa, not Coleman, but it does include Vance, does include Bibbville, and Lakeview with this northern warning. So we are now working 2 warnings that include portions of Bibb County. So now that I've got all this drawn on here, I am going to take us to that correlation coefficient. And just within the last radar scan here, I do have to say that southern circulation does look like it is ramping up just a bit. But let's check this correlation coefficient, and we now once again have a tornado on the ground in Perry County. So that's the storm that's headed into southern Bibb County. So everybody in southern Bibb County, safe place now. Brent, you're right on the edge of both of these. But at this point, we are looking at what does appear to be another tornado on the ground in northern Perry County, about to cross over into Bibb County. And that was that nasty looking storm that was out ahead of the line. And
Yeah.
you can see it there. I mean,
Yeah,
that's...
I was going to say that we've got some. This one right here is probably the most concerning of all of them, Taylor. This is the one that is along Highway 219. We got a debris signature, a TDS on this thing. It's right here. That thing is down. It's been down through much of Perry County, and that is going to be moving up into Bibb County. Again, Brent and Centerville, you're just basically in between these two polygons. It's pretty remarkable. Centerville, Brent right here, Polygon to the north, Polygon to the south. But that is a tornado that's down. I mean, that's nasty looking. I mean, that is really ugly looking. This is a dangerous storm, a life-threatening storm. And that's about to cross over into Bibb County out of Perry County. And again, this is Highway 82 coming south out of Centerville. Centerville here, Brent here. In fact, I was in Centerville today seeing some school kids, and this is US 82. That's the route from Brent down to Prattville, down to Maplesville. And this thing is going to be crossing Highway 82. So again, in terms of traffic, for those that are listening on our radio partners, we don't want anybody driving on US 82 between Brent and the Chilton County line. Okay? We really ask that. And again, this is the tornado is going to be passing a little to the east of Centerville and Brent, crossing Highway 82, then moving up toward Highway 139, which is right here. This is Randolph, this is Ashby, and that goes up toward Wilton and Shelby County. And of course, if this thing happens to stay down, it could affect Shelby County later, but that's a long way down the line here. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes. So we have a tornado debris signature now in northern Perry County, a very dangerous storm that's going to cross into Bibb. This is the county line. This is Perry, this is Bibb, and that'll be crossing Highway 82 east of Centerville, east of Brent. Centerville here, Brent here, the Cahaba River right there. These are going to be some of the approximate arrival times of towns in the path of this. And again, those are towns up in Shelby County, Wilton and Montevallo. If we can put maybe some of the smaller towns, there we go. Smaller towns in parts of Bibb County. You've got Ashby at 1017, 6 Mile at 1014. And again, anybody out here in the eastern part of Bibb County, be sheltered now. Now, okay? No mobile homes and no cars. So that's our southernmost tornado warning polygon. Let's look at the northern tornado warning polygon here, Taylor. This is going to be the one that includes northern Bibb County and clips a little bit of Tuscaloosa County.
Looks like that southern storm's kind of starting to cut that off.
Yeah, there's just nothing here. We see no evidence of a tornado. And again, this is Vance, this is Lakeview, this is Bibb County. This is a very, very small segment of eastern Tuscaloosa County under a tornado warning. And Taylor's showing this broad circulation here, but it's pretty broad. That does not look like a classic tornado signature. West Blockton is right here. That's Highway 5. Woodstock is here. Green Pond is here. That's Interstate 5920. But again, I would still, as long as that polygon's up, that thing's flashing, you stay sheltered. Tornado warning for northern Bibb, our eastern part of Tuscaloosa County. This has nothing to do with the city of Tuscaloosa. So let's expand this out. And let me just, again, by the way, you're watching ABC 3340 News at 10 o'clock. We are in the midst of severe weather, and tonight the news is weather. So we continue our tornado coverage, and you can see it's just a big, massive rain here with strong gusty winds coming through Jasper and Tuscaloosa. But we're focusing on these storms that have gotten out ahead of that line in northern and southern and eastern Bibb counties. We have two distinct tornado warning polygons here, and the most concerning, it's this one right here. You see the inflow notch right there, and that might be a debris ball right there. So let's go and look at the TDS, the correlation coefficient. That's your debris ball, and there it is. I mean, that's bad. This is a very, very, very dangerous storm that is currently sitting on the Perry-Bibb County line that's basically crossing over into Bibb. And this is Highway 219 running south out of Centerville that goes down to Selma. And so the tornado is just to the east of Highway 219, and it's going to be crossing over US 82 pretty soon. And again, this is serious business. Nobody should be in a car on US 82 between Brent and the Chilton County line, or just say, let's just say between Brent and Maplesville to make it easier, because what could be a violent tornado is possibly going to cross Highway 82 here in just a matter of minutes, and then it's going to keep on moving northeast up in the northern part of Bibb County, the northeastern part of Bibb County. That's 6 Mile on Highway 25. I drove right through 6 Mile today. This is Ashby along Alabama Highway 139 that goes down to Randolph. Randolph is right here. Oakley is right here, Highway 139 here, Alabama Highway 25 right here, US 82 right here. But Antioch, Ashby, Oakley, I wouldn't want to be driving on Highway 139 between Wilton and Randolph because that is a very, very dangerous storm.
We got a new warning for Tuscaloosa.
Okay. So let's take a look. This is a new tornado warning. And the Weather Service is highlighting this circulation right over the city of Tuscaloosa. So we have a new tornado warning in effect for Tuscaloosa County. This includes the city of Tuscaloosa and points north and east. Again, that's not the most classic signature we've seen on radar, but again, this is a tornado warning that is now in effect for the city of Tuscaloosa and areas north and east. If we can look at that DCH camera real quick and maybe spin that thing to the east back over toward Alberta City. We're looking west, and you can see the power is on. Down below that's University Boulevard, and we're spinning it back. Now we're looking north from DCH, top of DCH Regional Medical Center. And now we're going to be looking back to the east down University toward Alberta City. And again, the good news, we can report the power's on. That's the first thing I look for, to see if we have any power outages or any evidence of power flashes, and we don't see that in Tuscaloosa. And again, this is a live look at our Sky Cam atop DCH Regional Medical Center. We have a new tornado warning that's in effect for the city of Tuscaloosa for circulation that's kind of formed over the city itself. And it's moving northeast at 55 away from the city, which is good. So let's go back to the radar. And again, we're not going to be able to see much. That broad circulation is out here near Cottondale, now east of Tuscaloosa. So broad circulation. Again, this is Alberta City right here. And again, it's fairly broad, but there could be a small tornado in here. This is Holt. This is Fleetwood. Peterson is out here. This is Brookwood. And again, this thing is moving to the northeast. The rate of motion here on the warning is at 55 miles per hour. And we'll put some of the approximate arrival times for communities in the northeastern part of Tuscaloosa County on the board. And this is out in the northeast part of Tuscaloosa County, Kellerman at 10:20. And most likely this circulation is going to be passing north of Brookwood, north of Peterson. And again, it's out here in the northeastern part of town. Let's zoom in a little tighter. Again, Holt is located right here. This is the river. The circulation would be on the river out here near Nucor Steel, which is right here. Again, that's moving northeast like that. And again, so far we have heard of I've not heard of any damage or any power flashes. We've seen no evidence of anything happening in Tuscaloosa. This is a radar indicated tornado now northeast of downtown Tuscaloosa. So for downtown Tuscaloosa and points west and all clear from this threat, the concern is now the eastern part of town. Again, this is Alberta City. And again, Rice Mine Road is right here. You've got Jack Warner Parkway, which is right here on the south side of the river. Holt is located right here. And again, that's the Warrior right there. And we've got that broad circulation just northeast of downtown Tuscaloosa. Let's take that DCH camera one more time. We're looking back up to the northeast, and we just can't see a lot. It's pouring rain. And again, on a night like tonight, you just can't see much. So again, it's 10:05. We've got multiple tornado warnings in effect. We've got this one we're talking about now for Tuscaloosa County, the northeastern part of Tuscaloosa County. So Tuscaloosa, Northport here, the danger is over for those two cities, at least the downtown area. The circulation has now crossed the Warrior. It's out here near the North River Yacht Club. And again, it's fairly broad. This is not the most intense circulation we've seen, but I think the Weather Service saw the fact that it was over a population center, and just as a course of least regret, they opted to issue this warning. And again, that's going to move up into the northeast part of Tuscaloosa County. This is the river right here, the Black Warrior. So we've got broad tornadic circulation, possibly. There's broad circulation for sure. Is it a tornado? We don't know that yet. This is radar indicated, but it's on the river. Again, right around the North River Yacht Club. It's a little north of Holt, coming out across Lake Tuscaloosa. Everybody should stay sheltered out here for about, if you're in the Yacht Club, the North River development, you need to stay sheltered for about 10 more minutes. It's 10:06. you need to be sheltered until about 10:15, and we'll give you an all clear when that happens. And again, that's going to be moving up into the territory owned a lot by the coal companies here, but we know there are people that live here in northeast Tuscaloosa County. This will be passing north of Brookwood. This is Brookwood here, Fleetwood, Peterson here. That's Alabama Highway 216. And again, that circulation is now northeast of Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa, you're in good shape. Downtown Northport, you're fine. That circulation is moving to the northeast at about 55. And again, it's pretty close to North River and Lake Tuscaloosa. And everybody out here should be sheltered for about the next 10 minutes until this moves northeast. So really quickly, let's go back down to Bibb County. And I want to focus on the southern Bibb County storm. This is the most dangerous of the day right here. That thing's on US 82. There's evidence there could be a very significant tornado down. That's a very, very, very significant debris signature. This is a dangerous storm. This is dangerous. And again, if you know anybody out here in the eastern side of Bibb County, the community of Antioch, which is right here, 6 Mile, this is Alabama Highway 25 coming out of Centerville. That's Alabama Highway 139 coming south out of Wilton, out of Shelby County, Briarfield down toward Randolph. Briarfield, Ashby, Oakley, Antioch, be sheltered now. You got to be in a small room, lowest floor, near the center. No windows, a helmet on, a bicycle helmet, a batting helmet, a motorcycle helmet, and you can't be in a manufactured home, you can't be in a car. You got to be out of there. You got to be sheltered. Most all of these places have shelters open. Most every county opened their shelters earlier today. But again, this is a very, very significant debris signature. Debris is being lofted to at least 10,000 feet in this. And again, the Weather Service is calling this obviously very dangerous, and we certainly agree with that. So again, we have a dangerous storm, debris being lofted to at least 13,000 feet. 13,000 feet from the ground up, tree limbs, parts of buildings, and that tornado is crossed over US 82, which is right here. And again, Centerville, Brent, this is east of you, thank goodness. It is not affecting Centerville or Brent. It is east of there, crossing Highway 82, and it shortly will give folks an all clear on US 82, but we can't do that right now. The tornado has just crossed over Highway 82, and again, that's going to be coming up toward the communities we've highlighted here. You can see on the screen, Alabama Highway 25 is up here. That runs from Montevallo down to Centerville. Highway 139 from Wilton down to Maplesville, down toward Randolph. Randolph is really not in the Polygon. You can see the Polygon edge right here. The concern, it's north of there. Briarfield and Ashby, you are. And again, there's the new volume scan, and that just looks nasty. That's rough. So let's go back to our velocity display. And again, you can see the circulation right here. That's our tornado in Bibb County that is now east of US 82. So we can give an all clear to Highway 82. 82, you can travel on it again. Centerville down to Maplesville, you're good. Let's go to Tuscaloosa County. We're going to bounce back and forth. And again, this warning here, this intermediate warning, there's just nothing there. I mean, there's nothing there. We're going to focus on this one. This is the warning that is for the circulation that is east of the city of Tuscaloosa. And again, you can see the circulation is broad, but it's located in this vicinity around, again, it looks like the dominant circulation has kind of shifted south, maybe south of the river again, maybe just a little to the east of the city of Holt. The Holt-Peterson Road, part of that road is a dirt road right here. And again, we've had broad circulation near North River, and the dominant circulation seems to be down to the south here. This Tuscaloosa County warning, the signature has not been as pronounced as others that we have seen. But still, you've got to be sheltered. So again, if you're in northeastern Tuscaloosa County, Searles, Kellerman, coal mining country out here, be sheltered. This is the river. A broad circulation east of Holt on the river. It's moving northeast. And again, for those of you around Lake Tuscaloosa, stay sheltered for about 5 minutes. Let's go down to South Marengo County real quick. We've got a confirmed tornado over Linden in this latest update from the Weather Service. And I wanted to show people what's going on down here very quickly. Again, that circulation is just below Providence. We're not seeing it coming out of Birmingham at this point, but still, we've got a tornado warning in effect now for areas east of US 43. This would include Thomaston, back up toward Fawnsdale, the areas of East Marengo County. So just be aware of that. So let's go back up to this one. This is nasty. This thing right here. This is in Bibb County. This is potentially a violent tornado that is down. I mean, this is a very, very violent tornado right here. This is a tornado debris signature that's coming through the community of Antioch. And again, this is 6 Mile. Nobody should be on Highway 25. And let me just say, if you're in Montevallo or Wilton, watch this, okay? In Shelby County, we might have to pull the trigger on a warning soon. Montevallo is here, Wilton is here, and just be aware that this is moving in a direction towards some very densely populated parts of Shelby County. But again, the concern would be Briarfield, Wilton, and Montevallo. This is in Shelby County. There's no formal warning yet, but just be aware there might be one if this thing keeps up. But Highway 139, Briarfield, Ashby, Oakley, anybody on 139, you got to be sheltered. Alabama Highway 25, you got to be sheltered. Wilton down to 6 Mile. The risk has ended for US 82. Okay, so US 82 and points south and west, you're good. The tornado circulation is just below 6 Mile. And again, I drove that road today, going down to Cahaba Christian Academy, speaking to the kids down there. And it's beautiful country. It's just beautiful. And this is the last thing you want to see here, but that's a tornado debris signature. That means there's a tornado down. This product has been amazingly good since we had dual polarization radar installation about 10 years ago. And this product, or the signature, is moving in this direction. And if it continues in this direction, it might stay a little west of Highway 139. But forget that. If you're in the Polygon, respect it and be sheltered. And if it moves into Shelby County, the Weather Service will post a tornado warning for Shelby County here fairly soon. It is now 10:13. I'm James Spann. We're typically in news at this point. We're in weather tonight because of multiple tornado warnings in effect as a line of severe storms is passing through the state. The most dangerous storm on the board right now, pretty much statewide, is this one in northeastern Bibb County. We've got a tornado debris signature that is just below the community of 6 Mile along Alabama Highway 25, Montevallo Road, and that's moving northeast like this. And if it continues on that track, it's going to be cutting out across Highway 25 just below Wilton, moving up into Shelby County. This is Montevallo here. This is Wilton here. The Shelby County Airport is up here. This is the radar site. And we'll just watch and see. Best case scenario, we get some dissipation. All right. So that's the situation here. Let's go to Tuscaloosa County really quickly. Again, you can see we have 3 tornado warning polygons here, and let's put the velocity on here.
Looks like we might
be
starting
about to say
see
now
something.
We've got a debris signature down here. Again, this is North River here. You've got Fleetwood and Brookwood over here. Fleetwood, Peterson over here. And now we're starting to see evidence of debris that might be lofted. This might be a tornado that is down northeast of the city of Tuscaloosa. This possible tornado, again, it's northeast of Holt. Holt is right here. And again, this is pretty much on the river. This is Lake Harris Road right here. Again, North River is over here. If you're in North River, we'll give you an all clear, as this is now east of you. And this possible tornado, and it could be down, is moving northeast. And again, this is Searles, this is Kellerman, and we've got a lowering of the correlation coefficient right here, which means there could be debris that's being lofted. There's a chance this thing is down. Brookwood is here. East Brookwood, you've got Lakeview over here, but the warning is mainly for areas north of Brookwood. And again, you can clearly see the river. This is the Black Warrior River. That tornado debris signature is now just north of the river, sitting on the north bank of the river, on the other side of Peterson and Fleetwood, moving northeast like that. So again, this is a storm out there near the Holt Lock and Dam, if you will. That's about the approximate location of this thing, and that's going to keep on moving northeast. So this is a tornado warning for northeast Tuscaloosa County. And remember, all of this is sliding east here. If you're in Birmingham, stay with us because all of this is moving toward the Birmingham metro. But again, for the city of Tuscaloosa, Northport, the tornado is here. You're good. You are good. That's the tornado moving like that. Jefferson County is up here. Again, Oak Grove is here. We're coming up on April 8th, that anniversary of that horrible tornado in 1998 our friends here experienced. And again, there's your TDS, a tornado debris signature right here sitting on the river, moving northeast. So again, northeast Tuscaloosa County, be sheltered. Let's go back down to Bibb County. That intermediate warning, the one in between here, there's no evidence of a tornado at this point. We're going to focus on this right here. That is your debris signature right here. This is now just below 6 Mile. Again, Highway 25 is right here. My finger's along Alabama Highway 25. And again, the town of Ashby is here. This is Alabama Highway 139 going south down toward Randolph. That's Highway 25 going down toward Centerville. We got a possible tornado between 139 and 25 moving like this. And again, if that continues, it's going to be in Shelby County fairly soon. And I wish I could show you images or video of the storms we have tonight, but I cannot do that because everything is rain wrapped and it's dark. And I know there's so many things happening. We have fires, we have trees down from gradient winds earlier today, but we have to focus on these life-threatening storms that are happening right now. The minute we can kind of back off a little bit, we can talk about the fires in progress and the other damage that's occurred today. But again, as long as we have these life-threatening storms, we have to focus on that. So again, just be aware that if this tornado continues moving in this direction, this is I-65 and US 31, Pelham, Alabaster, Montevallo, Morris Crossroads on Highway 119. The National Cemetery is located right there. And again, that tornado is moving up in this direction. We'll see if it can maintain itself. As you go farther to the east, the air is more stable, the dew points are lower. But we've talked about this all day today. The dynamics, the wind dynamics of this system are overcoming the lack of instability. And accordingly, we have had some tornadoes with this here in our state this evening and a lot of damage from gradient winds not related to storms today. It's been a very rough day as we expected. So once again, we've got a TDS, a tornado debris signature that is in northeastern Bibb County. Again, if you're in Centerville, Brent, you're over here. You're not in a Polygon. The Weather Service has taken out that middle warning. So we're down to 2 warnings in the state, in our part of the state, 2 tornado warnings, one for northeastern Bibb and the extreme northwestern corner of Chilton. We should mention that, but this tornado is clearly going to stay out of Chilton coming up towards Shelby. And we have this other one up here. This is in northeastern Tuscaloosa County. So a tornado here and a tornado right here. That's your locations. We have one tornado that's about 35 miles west of downtown Birmingham. We have one that's about 40 miles southwest of downtown Birmingham. Just to give you a point of reference, downtown Birmingham is right here. So let's go back to our Tuscaloosa County storm. And the TDS is still there. The lowered correlation coefficient product is here. And again, North River, you're all clear. Points to the west, you're all clear. The concern is now shifting into northeastern Tuscaloosa County, away from the river. And I say away from the river, close to the river. The river is located right here. This thing is still kind of hugging the river, but it's going to be getting off the river, passing south of there. Kellerman and Searles in northeast Tuscaloosa County. And if that thing holds together, a warning could be required for parts of Jefferson County. That's the county in which Birmingham is located. And again, this is Oak Grove right here. This is Rock Creek right here. And again, our friends here know tornadoes well. They've dealt with it. They dealt with an EF5 back in 1998. And I'm not saying this is an EF5. It's not. But it's still very significant. We got debris being lofted here. So that's the current situation. And let's go, Taylor. In fact, I'll let you take it for just a second here, and we'll take a look at our second storm that's coming out of Bibb, and looks like just maybe. Let's check the velocity real quick. That's your tornado signature here, and there it is. It's looking pretty broad, and the best case scenario here is that we get some weakening, which that would be awfully nice if that's the case, as it comes up into Shelby. But again, you've got to stay sheltered. So again, the tornado warning is for northeastern Bibb, and that's in effect until 10:45. But this tornado is going to be out of the county well before that. And again, this is not a tornado here. This is noise. That's the tornado right there. So that's tornado number 1. And I'll let you take it for a second, Taylor, and let me check a couple of reports real quick here.
Okay, sounds good. So at this point, we have 2 tornado warnings in our area. Both have 2 TDSs with them. So that means that we potentially still have tornadoes on the ground. With this latest scan on this Bibb County storm here, we still have the TDS, but sometimes we have that TDS that continues for a little while after that circulation dissipates because the debris still lofted at that point. So the newest scan here, we're still seeing a little bit, but remember a couple scans ago when we were showing this as it was moving into Bibb County from Perry County when we had the big blue area. We're not seeing that, which is good. We don't want to see that. We do have what appears to be some rotation still left with this storm. It's very close to Briarfield. It's going to be passing close to State Route 139 here pretty soon. And I assume at this point The National Weather Service is watching this storm very closely because it is getting to the edge of the box, and they're going to have to make a decision on whether or not to extend this into Shelby County or not, because it's going to be crossing over into Shelby County here pretty soon. But the radar presence of this has much improved since a couple scans ago when we had what was confirmed to be a very significant tornado on the ground. Let's check that correlation coefficient again. And we're still picking up on a TDS, so it's possible that we do still have a tornado down, but not looking as menacing as it did a few scans ago. So we're waiting on that decision from the National Weather Service. Of course, they're doing all kinds of analysis on this, and they're watching this very carefully. And notice this box has been trimmed back a lot. So if you live in 6 Mile, you have an all clear from this tornado warning. That tornado is well to your northeast. Oakley, you have an all clear as well. Ashby, I'd still stay in your safe place for a few more minutes, but we can give you an all clear here pretty soon as this storm keeps moving towards the northeast. And we'll be keeping an eye on this. It will be moving in the general direction of Wilton, Montevallo here pretty soon, and we'll see whether or not we get the extension of that warning. And it's going to be heading pretty close to the radar site as well if it does continue. And looking at the radar here, and here we go. We are getting now that new tornado warning that is going to extend into Shelby County for this storm. And it's going to be moving to the northeast. And here we go. With this news radar scan, we are seeing it get very close to Wilton. So if you live in Wilton, you need to be in that safe place. And we're going to read off some of the
let me kind of go through this, Taylor, because now this is when a lot of things are triggered. This is a very, very densely populated part of Birmingham. So a lot of people are getting warned right now via their phone or their weather radio, and let's kind of describe who's in this Polygon. This is a tornado warning for Shelby County for a tornado that is moving out of Bibb County into Shelby County. Some of the communities involved in this thing would be Wilton and Montevallo, the northern part of Calera, the southern part of Alabaster, areas around the Shelby County Airport. And again, you've got Columbiana, which is here. You're not in this polygon. This is a fairly small polygon. Shelby County has a very large population base. And understand, it's going to include the southern part of Alabaster, the northern part of Calera, areas around the Shelby County Airport. That's Highway 119 coming south out of Alabaster. You got Thompson High School here, Moore's Crossroads, the National Cemetery is down here, right here. And again, that possible tornado is going to be coming right up toward Wilton and Montevallo, and then ultimately toward the Shelby County Airport. This might be a case where the Weather Service in Birmingham has to hand off responsibility to the Weather Service in Huntsville or Atlanta because they are at the Shelby County Airport. And when that happens, that occasionally does happen from time to time. So again, let's put the velocity display on here real quick, and let's zoom in, and I'll show you that circulation is almost right at Wilton along Alabama Highway 25 right here, okay? And that's going to be moving to the northeast. The town of Montevallo is here. The campus of the University of Montevallo is here, and that's going to come right through the middle of town. The circulation does not look as violent as it did about 15 minutes ago, but it's still a very dangerous storm, and everybody in Montevallo and on the campus, you need to be sheltered, as that tornado is going to be coming right through the city, or the part of the storm that is capable of producing a tornado is coming right through the city. And from there, it'll be moving right up toward Highway 119. This is Highway 119 here. And again, this is County Road 12. This is Highway 119 right here. This is Moore's Crossroads here. Everybody close to Montevallo, back up toward Maylene, you got to be sheltered. Wilton, same thing. Let's look at our correlation coefficient product, the debris tracker, if you will, and let's see if we still have that signature, and it's right here. Now, as we get close to the radar, you're going to see a lot of noise here that doesn't represent debris, but again, right in through here, we have the possibility of a tornado that is down. This has been a tornado that produced a violent signature here about 15, 20 minutes ago, and now it's right here. The new volume scan is in. That's your tornado that's located maybe just north of Highway 25 near the town of Wilton. And again, Montevallo is right here. So everybody in Montevallo, you've got to be in a safe place. The University of Montevallo, there is a new shelter in Montevallo that was opened up. I was there for the dedication. We took a lot of pictures. It's a beautiful shelter, and that's one option for you, but you cannot be in a car or a manufactured home in a situation like this. You've got to be sheltered, and there's a lot of good community shelters here in Montevallo. If you don't find the community shelter, just go into a fast food restaurant, some place that's open, a gas station that's a site-built structure that offers protection. So again, this is a tornado that is currently potentially still down, that is located near the town of Wilton in Shelby County, moving right up toward the town of Montevallo. So this is our Shelby County storm, and understand we're working two distinct tornado circulations here. We're going to have to bounce back and forth between these, but the call to action is for everybody in Montevallo and on the campus of the University of Montevallo, be sheltered now. Let's quickly, Taylor, go to Tuscaloosa County. And,
that has been canceled.
Good. So we're down to one. That's great. So the tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County has been canceled. So all we have right now is a tornado warning for Bibb County in our part of the state, which it makes it easy on us. And again, you're looking at a TDS, a tornado debris signature that is located in Shelby County, just southwest of Montevallo in the town of Wilton. And again, this is Alabama Highway 25 right here. And again, oddly enough, I was on that road today, going down to Centerville. And the possible tornado is going to come awfully close to the middle of Montevallo and the campus of the University of Montevallo. And if you know anybody here, you can be a hero. You can be part of there's the debris signature. It's pretty much in Montevallo right now. That's not good. We have a debris signature that is right on top of Montevallo right now. So again, if you guys could pull that banner down so we can see that, thank you. Again, that's the tornado almost right on top of the campus. Now, if you know anybody in this polygon, call them or text them to let them know what's going on here. But again, this is basically on campus. This is Highway 119 that's right here going north out of Montevallo. Montevallo High School is about right here. The elementary school is right here. The campus of the University of Montevallo is right here. And that's your tornado. And that's not what you want to see. This is Neighbor Street right here. And that's going to keep on moving northeast. It's going to be paralleling Alabama Highway 119. So let's expand this out a little bit and talk about who's next in line here. So again, this is the Shelby County Airport. This is the next rad site right here. You've got Morris Crossroads. Highway 119 goes up toward Thompson High School in Alabaster. This is Maline right here. And again, that's Maline, Alabaster, Morris Crossroads. This is Saginaw right here. So everybody below Alabaster, and again, the tornado warning polygon includes the southern part of Alabaster, the northern part of Calera. And we'll see. Taylor's the Weather Service.
Haven't heard that they're sheltering yet. I assume, you know, if we continue on this path, that's going to likely happen.
So again, they're at the Shelby County Airport, and again, we're down to one tornado warning in our part of the state, and it's this one. I want to expand this out and show some other parts of Shelby County to give people a point of reference.
James, I did just hear some potentially good news is that I do believe Montevallo's on their spring break.
That's great. Okay. So let's expand this out a little bit. Let me show, again, this is the tornado here. Alabaster, Pelham. This is 280. This is Chelsea. Okay. Possible tornado right here. It's come through Montevallo. And again, it's going to be moving about like that. And if it stays on that track, the warning could be extended farther north and east. But we don't want anybody driving on Interstate 65 or US 31 south of Alabaster, north of Calera. Again, no travel on I-65 or US 31 south of Alabaster, north of Calera, as we have a tornado that continues to be confirmed with a debris signature right here just northeast of Montevallo, moving pretty rapidly. This thing might be moving at 60 miles an hour. I know they've got it moving at 45, but it's moving pretty quick. It's basically near American Village right now. And again, that's Highway 119. American Village is pretty much right here. I mean, it's literally right on top of American Village and the National Cemetery. And it's going to keep on moving like that. Again, that's I-65, US 31 right here. The radar sits right here. You've seen that big volleyball-looking device on the tower. That's the radome with the radar. And again, that's the spot. And as it gets a little closer, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge to see as we get right into the radar sometimes. But again, this is your possible tornado that's right here. And again, highway, it's just really close to American Village.
Montevallo PD has report tornado on the ground, 139 in Briarfield. So we're getting more confirmation that this tornado is on the ground, or at least has been. Right.
This is from Shelby County SO. Again, this is from Bryan Falls and John Talbot with our Skywatcher group. Montevallo Police has a report of a tornado on the ground a little southwest of Montevallo. We do not know what's happened in Montevallo at this point. And again, we're watching developments very carefully, and we want, in a situation like this, you get so many rumors and bad information. We're going to try and focus on getting reliable, factual information to you. If you have friends or relatives in Montevallo, we don't exactly know what's happened at this point. As soon as we find out, we'll pass that on. But again, the tornado is going to be crossing Highway 119 near Moore's Crossroads. That's Shelby County 22, Alabama Highway 119. On this current track, this will likely cross Interstate 65 really close to the Shelby County Airport and the location of the National Weather Service. And then it's going to continue moving across U.S. Highway 31 south of Alabaster, south of Saginaw. And from there, it's going to keep on moving to the northeast. And again, Columbiana is not in the Polygon. I want to stress that. Columbiana is over here. This is Shelby Springs, downtown Calera, not in the Polygon. This is the northern extent of the Polygon. And again, that's up here at the top of the screen. That was Shelby County 11 that runs from Alabaster back over to Chelsea. But again, you can see the approximate. This is Shelby County 26. Everybody knows that road. That's how you go from Alabaster down to Columbiana, down to the county seat down there. And this will likely cross Interstate 65, US 31, and County Road 26. That's the road between Alabaster and Columbiana here in the next 15 minutes if it stays down. And that's a big if. Again, the air is a bit more stable. And we're hoping with time that this will weaken, but we don't see a lot of evidence of that at this point. But I will say it's beginning to look a little more disorganized. Taylor, don't you agree?
Yeah, it's getting harder to pick out exactly where that center of circulation is. I think it's broadening out a bit. So hopefully we're seeing this kind of weaken a bit. I do want to see if maybe I can pick things out. And we're also just getting very close to the radar site, which makes things hard. Makes it hard to pick things out. So we'll keep watching it, but certainly it's harder to pick out that debris signature and that velocity couplet compared to what it did look like a little while ago, for sure.
Yeah, again, I'm looking at a lot of reports, and we have to process this on the fly and determine, you know, what is credible and what might not be factual. And again, I'm not comfortable in reporting anything about what happened in Montevallo at this point. But as Taylor says, we are right at the radar site here. And just for the fun of it, Taylor, let's look at MXX real quick. I just want to change the radar perspective and look at it from a radar that's, yeah, I figured it'd be noise. It's a little too high, so we just can't see much from MXX. So we're going to stay with the BMX radar. This is the Shelby County Airport. And again, as this comes through here, even if the tornado has lifted, you have to assume that it might reset back down. And as long as that polygon is and stay sheltered. And again, for a lot of folks, it's not convenient. It's a school night. It's 10:35. It's late. I understand. I've been down his path. We raised two boys, and I understand the challenges on a school night like this, but you have to make life decisions that protect you and your family, and a decision is to be sheltered during a tornado warning. That's the right thing to do. And this has produced some violent signatures here, and it's passed when it came through Perry County, when it came through Bibb County. I have great concern. There's been a lot of really serious tornado damage in parts of rural Perry and Bibb counties this evening, and we'll find out more about that at the first light of day tomorrow. But what's left of that is coming through Shelby County, and again, the far northern part of Calera and the southern part of Alabaster. That's your polygon right here, and that stretches over into the central part of Shelby County, and notice how the polygon, it continues to shrink, and that's the way it's designed to work. As the tornado continues to be identified, you can make the polygon smaller. You don't want people taking action that don't need to take action. And remember, for some of the old legacy systems, they sound countywide. You don't need to do that countywide. This is the only area of concern, is that small polygon in the middle of Shelby County. And again, for Montevallo, the danger is over now. The storm is well north and east of there, that broad circulation. And again, still, we advise no travel on I-65 from Alabaster to Calera. No travel on US 31 from Alabaster to Calera. Those are the two major north-south highways in Shelby County. And again, we don't want anybody in a car in a storm like this. And remember, we've had so much focus on tornadoes here lately. There's a long line of storms that could easily produce strong straight-line winds. This storm is ahead of that line. And that's one of the reasons that it really got spinning. The storms had a very hard time becoming organized east of the line because of the lack of instability, but this one tapped into a little pinched off tongue of instability and got that tornado down. And we're hoping that maybe it's getting out of that zone and the tornado is lifting. But again, until we have absolute confirmation, we want to hang on to the tornado warning. So tornado warning for central Shelby County, this polygon right here, in effect until 10:45. That is for 8 more minutes. We have a severe storm capable of producing a tornado over the Shelby County Airport. And let me just say, too, I want to thank Stephen Quinn. He just spoke with Montevallo Fire Rescue. They have received no reports of damage so far. How about that? That's incredibly good news. So again, thanks to Stephen Quinn. He spoke with Montevallo Fire Rescue, and they have not received any damage reports so far. I've been texting with Spruce McCree, my friend who runs the fire department down at Briarfield, and he is asking if they're clear, and they are. If you're in Briarfield or any part of Bibb County, you're clear. But again, the great news we can report is the fact that we don't have any damage reported so far, and that's the key, so far. Sometimes it takes a while for damage reports to come in to law enforcement and to first responders because of communication problems, and that's common after a tornado. But I do have great concern. There's been some major tornado damage in parts of rural Bibb and Perry counties with this storm. That debris signature was horrific. Debris was being lofted 15,000 feet in the air at one point. We don't have that anymore, which is good. We have just a broad storm here. In fact, let's put the reflectivity on real quick, Taylor, just to see what that looks like. And it's just morphed into a big rain mass here, which is great. So I would imagine the Weather Service will not be extending this warning past that, was it 10:45, Taylor?
Yes.
Right. All right, this is one of the cams we have, the ALDOT cameras at Saginaw. This is Interstate 65, which would be just below Alabaster. And you see this pouring rain here. And obviously it's hard to see much, but again, evidence that there is order there. We see some headlights down below. Would not want to be driving. Just got a note from Spruce. He's going to go out and see if they need any rescues from his perspective. Again, Spruce McCree works with the fire department down at Briarfield and Ashby and that part of northern Bibb County where we had that really nasty debris signature here. And as soon as he hears something, again, when I get reliable information from law enforcement, first responders, we pass that on. Yeah, I'm watching reports coming in on our Slack session here from Brian back over in the newsroom. They've got a number of crews, our crews, that are looking at the damage down here. And again, that is very helpful. So, but I have fear for parts of Bibb and Perry counties. We'll see. But again, I do believe this warning is going to go away at 10:45. And when that's the case, things will calm down and we can kind of go back to watching this line of storms. See reports of some damage near Deer Lake Park. That's down in Tuscaloosa. That's from that storm that was just northeast of Tuscaloosa, the one near the river. Trees down near Deer Lake Park. And again, that's coming from some of the scanner traffic. But again, the good news, I'm looking through so many reports here across different channels, and I just don't see evidence of damage in Shelby County so far. I want to show really quickly. Let's go down to, well, I'll tell you, let's hold it here. The other warnings are not in our television market. We're going to hold it right here in Shelby County until this thing expires. Then we'll go down to some of the other storms down to the south. The better quality air mass for tornado formation is down to the south. There's just not a lot of juice here. The Cape, instability, buoyancy. And that has really saved us. I will tell you, if we had very high instability values today, this could be a really bad day. It's been a bad day. Gradient winds have knocked down trees in every county. We have wildfires burning all over the place tonight. Trees going down on power lines. The power lines arc, sets of fire. The fires spread like crazy because of the wind. We've got those in every county. It's been horrifying watching these fires and the down trees and power lines because of gradient winds today. But again, as the rain comes in, that's going to greatly help. This rain is a good thing to knock out some of these fires in through here. But again, if you're just joining us, we have for 4 more minutes a tornado warning. I'm sorry, for 3 more minutes, a tornado warning in effect for central Shelby County for this polygon here. And we have lost evidence of a tornado in the radar signature. We have lost the debris signature, which means most likely the tornado is lifted, and most likely the Weather Service will not be extending this warning, which is what we would like. We have been under tornado warnings for a while. And again, we're going to go down to some of the other spots down in central and south Alabama here in a few minutes. But again, I just wanted to pass a note from Gerald Satterwhite at the Weather Service. Gerald says they're going to keep the warning going until the expiration time. When it gets close to the radar like this, it can be tough to see. And again, most likely it's not there. And again, I think here in, let's see, Taylor, 2 minutes, this will go away. And then I want to go down south because a lot of people are watching on the YouTube and Facebook Live and other on our app and many other places, and they're interested in other parts of the state. We're going to do that in just a second. But for those that don't know, we are a TV operation here. We have to focus on our home market, and that's what we're doing here. So a tornado warning for 2 more minutes. As long as it's in there, we're going to stay with this for Shelby County. And once we give you an all clear, you can go to bed, and everybody can get out of the shelter, and everybody can be happy and live happily ever after here. But again, I just have concern over what's happened down in Bibb and Perry with this. We saw some really violent signatures coming up through parts of northern Perry and eastern Bibb counties. And
we are getting word that it will be allowed to expire.
Yeah, they're going to let this thing go. Yep. All right, so the tornado warning will be gone here in just a couple of minutes. In fact, we'll just give you an all clear. The Weather Service is going to let this thing go. So Shelby County, all clear from this tornado warning. So let's go down to this storm in Perry, and I wanted to show this one because this is coming up toward Brent. And again, we've got broad circulation in through here. This is Bibb County, this is Perry County, and we're not seeing debris being lofted. It's kind of a fuzzy signature. So again, this is a tornado warning that's in effect for northeastern Perry County, in effect until 11. And again, the Weather Service issued this at a little earlier this hour. And again, Perry County is in the Montgomery TV market. Bibb is in our market. And we always watch the storms carefully that come out of Perry, and this is kind of taking the same track as the one that's in Shelby now. But again, that looks very noisy. That's not really a classic tornado signature. So let's go down to southern Perry. I want to show the one near Uniontown. Yeah, that's bad. So this is US 80 right here, and this is down in Dallas County. This is Alabama Highway 22. Orville sits right here. And this thing is between Alabama 22 and US 80. And that's a pretty significant looking tornado signature based on the velocity. Not seeing debris being lofted yet. It takes a while to get that up, but that's a significant tornado warning. So a tornado warning in effect. This is for parts of Dallas County. This does not include Selma. This is for areas west of Selma. But for those that are watching on the stream, everybody needs to be aware of that, and we want people to be sheltered. Again, Selma, Taylor is circling, which is right here. Of course, the biggest city in Dallas County. Tornado threat is off to the west of there. Possible tornado moving northeast. That'll be crossing Highway 80. This is Alabama Highway 5 right here. The Browns is right here. This is Safford. That's Highway 5. And again, that's a storm that'll be moving up into Perry County. This is Highway 14 coming out of Selma back up toward Marion right here. So I wanted to show you that. This is in the Montgomery television market, but that's a very significant tornado signature. So let's show the big view. Let's do a reset here. We've hit 1045. I'm James Spann with Taylor Serralo, and we've got to the north. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for Coleman County. Let's take a look at Cullman. We have not ignored you, but when you know the deal, we got tornado warnings. We have to focus on those. So we've got that line of storms coming into downtown Cullman, and the Weather Service in Huntsville is going with severe thunderstorm warnings. The Weather Service in Birmingham, they've kind of backed off in that we've not had that many wind damage reports with the line. Yes, we have had piles of wind damage reports with gradient winds today ahead of this line. A lot of reports, but with the line itself, the winds don't seem to be as bad as the gradient winds. Still, you could see winds of maybe 40, 50 miles an hour in here, and that line is coming into downtown Cullman. This is Good Hope, that's Cullman, that's Interstate 65, this is US 31. So be aware that we have Cullman County under a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's expand this back out again. I want to show the whole picture. And again, notice the Weather Service in Birmingham, they have not issued any warnings for Walker, Jefferson, Tuscaloosa. Now for Shelby, the tornado warning is expired. There's no warning for Shelby County. The rain will be heavy in Birmingham, but based on the lack of reports of additional damage with the line, you don't need to be issuing warnings if you don't need them. So again, we have no severe thunderstorm warnings for Jefferson or Tuscaloosa or Bibb, although that line is about to come into Birmingham. It still is going to produce gusty winds. It might produce a little small hail, probably not much, but it's moving at a pretty good clip. And let's give some good news here. Everybody needs some good news. You need some good news, Taylor?
Oh, yeah, always.
So if you're in Fayette, the risk of severe weather is over. You're done. If you're in Vernon, Sulligent, you're done. In fact, all the counties have been cleared. Marion, Fayette, Lamar, Pickens, Greene, Sumter. You're done with it. No more severe weather until maybe Tuesday of next week. The watch continues in effect for these counties. And again, Tuscaloosa, you'll be cleared soon. You're basically done with it in Tuscaloosa County. But again, the heavier rains coming into Birmingham. And we're going to watch it carefully. We've had these little spin-up tornadoes this evening. And but for now, for our part of the world here, the one warning, it's for Cullman. You're in our market, by the way. People in Cullman get confused because you're served by the Weather Service office in Huntsville. That has nothing to do with television. You're in the Birmingham TV market. We are honored. We love having Cullman in our television market. And thank you for watching. But again, that line of storms coming right through downtown Cullman with gusty winds. In fact, let's punch up that Coleman Sky Cam real quick, Taylor. I want to take a look at that and just show you what it looks like. The Coleman Sky Cam is just east of downtown Cullman. And we'll look back into the downtown area, and let's see if we get any. Probably not much lightning at this hour of the night, Taylor. There's no real surface-based instability, and I'm sure there's a little bit of thunder in there, and the winds are going to pick up.
Barely any.
Yeah.
I'm putting the lightning counter. We have 23 in our entire DMA. 23 lightning strikes.
All right, very good. So once again, we're watching our live sky cam in Cullman. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and that will be in effect for a while longer until the storms pass. And we're getting into a situation now where we're starting to hear some reports of damage. We'll go back to the radar. We'll put that again. We'll just kind of leave the big picture up. The line of heavy storms coming through Cullman. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect here. Heavier storms coming through Birmingham, but again, there's no warning, and it's a difference in opinion. The Weather Service in Huntsville, they're going with warnings, Birmingham not. And remember, to be severe, a storm has to have 58-mile-per-hour winds or 1-inch diameter hail or larger. That's the criteria. And the Weather Service in Birmingham believes these are underneath that criteria, and I think they're probably right. We're watching these areas of rotation down to the south, and we'll see how they behave here. But here's a public report, just again going back to previous storms. Benevola Road, several houses hit by a possible tornado. Have not heard if anyone was hurt. That was earlier this evening. And I know in Mobile it's rough. It is really rough down in Mobile. They've got multiple tornado warnings in effect. And again, we have a station. We have two stations actually in the Mobile television market. We have Channel 3 and Channel 15, WEAR and WPMI. Our friend Alan Seals is the chief meteorologist at Channel 15 down there, and he's taking care of our friends in the Mobile television market. So if you're concerned about our friends down there, WPMI, that's our sister station in the Sinclair Group. Alan Seals. Alan is great. He's a great meteorologist, and he does a great job during severe weather, so you can watch him. But I know it's a very rough night down there. They are in unstable air. We are so thankful we are not in unstable air. It's pretty stable up here. So again, just a messy mass of rain across North Alabama as we speak. Heavier rain about to come into Birmingham. Not severe at this point. But let's go back down into northeastern Perry County, and just want to confirm that there's nothing going on down here, because that circulation is coming up into Bibb, if there's anything left of it, and I don't think there is. No, there's nothing there. Again, there's broad circulation here, but that's not really a tornado circulation. That's pretty close to US 82, very close to the track of that violent signature we saw, that TDS that came through here. But that's not really a tornado signature, and you can see there's just nothing happening down here. And so that polygon for Perry will be, they just exit out. X that thing out. I like it. Taylor is the best X drawer in America. So this tornado warning for Perry County is off the board. And so again, the only close one we have, it's this one down here in Dallas. And again, that is a storm that's in the Montgomery television market. Our friend Josh Johnson and those guys down there, they'll take it. I got kids everywhere. These are like my kids, former interns. It's great to see them being successful. But there is a possible tornado that is currently located near US 80 down in Dallas County. And this is below US 80. I want to say another report. This is coming from Kirk Smith. He just texted me. Kirk is the EMA director in Bibb County. In fact, I saw Kirk today. We had a chance to visit this morning at Cahaba Christian Academy where I spoke, and we talked about tonight being busy for both of us. He reports there is a mobile home turned over with entrapment on Booth Lane in Briarfield. That's the tornado that came out of Bibb up into Shelby. This was in the far northeastern corner of Bibb County. So again, we have a confirmed report. This is coming straight from EMA. Kirk Smith, who is the director of EMA in Bibb County, of a mobile home that is turned over with entrapment. And again, Spruce McCree, he'll be on that as well. Spruce is now working search and rescue for those that need help with his volunteer fire department down in Briarfield. And again, from Spruce and Kirk, and as we hear more from them, we'll pass along the additional information. So again, I don't know if anybody's been injured here. And that's the one thing I can tell you now. I honestly don't know if we had any injuries. And I will tell you that we still have no reports of any tornado damage from Montevallo. And that was scary, Taylor. I mean, goodness gracious. We watched that TDS go right through there. And we've heard no reports of any damage so far. And again, we're watching our Sky Watcher chat session over on Slack, and they are the greatest. Our team of volunteer Sky Watchers. And we've got them all over the state, and they have been great to report. And I will say I do have one report from Brent Luker, one of our Sky Watchers. He says family down in Marengo County, they've got structural damage in Nanophilia. If you remember, we talked about Nanophilia, Half Acre, Sweetwater, Dixon's Mills, that southern part of Marengo County. That was earlier tonight. And again, the situation down in Mobile and Baldwin counties is pretty rough tonight. They've got a number. In fact, let's look at a regional look real quick, Taylor, if we can do that. I just wanted to show what's happening down in Mobile and Baldwin. And again, look at all that. It's pretty rough. It's a very rough night. We got tornado warning polygons now for the city of Mobile, Fairhope, Daphne, the Eastern Shore. And this is where you've got unstable air, and that was the great concern. The dynamics plus the instability, everything was there. The higher STP values were down here today, significant tornado parameter values. Some of the numbers were pretty impressive, and sure enough, that index works pretty well, and it's worked pretty well in this case. So just wanted to show you that we've got big problems down here in Mobile and Baldwin counties. with multiple tornado warnings in effect. And again, for those that would like to watch the live coverage here, I'd recommend Alan Seals, WPMI. You can go to their Facebook page or their website, WPMI.com, and they will have the latest on that. So Taylor, let me kick it back over to you for 1 second. I'm going to gather a few more reports here that are coming in.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to, first of all, show us that reflectivity again. We have one severe thunderstorm warning in our viewing area, which is for Coleman County, and that's for the line of storms that's moving through right now. I do want to take us to the, first of all, tornado watch. We'll take a look at that. Still waiting on a few more counties to be cleared, but as you can see, our westernmost communities have been cleared. That's going to keep being cleared from west to east as that line keeps moving eastward. And let's take a look at the power outages here. And we've got 12,000 in Birmingham right now, 1,000 in Shelby County, 4,500 in Jasper, 3,000 in Tuscaloosa, 1,500 in Brent. So we've got all kinds of power outages at this point, and that's from, first of all, those gradient winds, and then now we're starting to see that line move through as well, which is going to potentially also add to that that power outage total as we see the possibility of more trees coming down. But at this point, I'm just trying to kind of watch within this line here. The good news is that we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings with this line, but I am keeping an eye on any kind of rotation. We've got that broad rotation in Bibb County. We've got some lightning with that, but so far no warning on that. Nothing that looks too concerning with that at this point, but that's something we're going to be keeping an eye on. But other than that, the worst of the weather does seem to be to our south for the time being, which is some good news. But we'll keep an eye on these little storms. At this point, it kind of looks like the line itself has kind of broken apart. So we're looking at a broken line of thunderstorms, and it doesn't look as strong as it did when it was first moving over from Mississippi, which is good.
Hey, let's take a picture on WEXO 5 real quick, Dennis. This is from the campus of the University of Montevallo, and this is the only damage that really we have seen tonight. This is some damage to the roof at Brook Hall, which is a dorm on the campus of the University of Montevallo. You can see it looks like part of the roof was taken off, just a small part, thank goodness. And again, this is the first image that I've seen that suggests there's been any damage on the campus of the University of Montevallo. So, Taylor, just wanted to mention that we've had a little damage, but if that's the only damage we've had, we're doing okay. Absolutely, especially because, you know, we saw that debris signature, we saw that storm moving through, and that's the best we can hope for, is if we just have a little bit of that a roof gone, you know, as long as everybody's safe. That's what we're looking for here. But we are keeping an eye on this storm in Bibb County, just because there's a little bit of rotation there, and this would be taking pretty much the same track as that last storm. There's no warning here, but a storm that we're going to be watching carefully to see how that progresses. But other than that, we got heavy rain moving into downtown Birmingham. We've got that severe thunderstorm warning. We got that severe thunderstorm warning for Coleman County. And if we look at that, let's look at that Coleman camera. If we can pull that up on our Sky Cam network. I've got the view from that camera showing quite a bit of wind and rain. If we can take the Sky Cam network, I can show you that. Or I guess I can pull it up on my end then if I need to. I'll pull it up on my end. So we're looking at the Coleman Sky Cam there. Wind, rain, we've seen that really pick up. But this is that line, and once this moves through, you're done with the severe threat. So those who are in Coleman County right now, if you're in downtown Coleman, you're seeing on our camera here, you've got that line moving through at this point, but things are going to improve here once this line moves through. So just kind of hang tight, and it'll be out of your area pretty soon. This line's moving pretty quickly to the east. So it is hopefully not going to be too much longer until those winds calm down. And then behind that line, once that line moves through, we are looking at winds calming down. We're done with those pressure gradient winds as well. So that's certainly some good news. We're going to be done with all those winds that were gusting as high as 50 miles per hour out ahead of these storms today. And that's what really caused a lot of the damage that we've seen so far today, is those pressure gradient winds before these storms even arrived. So at this point, we've got very, very heavy rain along I-20
from Hueytown to Greenwood to Hickory Grove in Jefferson County, and that's what we've got. Some heavy rain, some gusty winds, but not a severe warning. These storms are below severe limits at this point. We've got some heavy rain. We've got some gusty winds, lots of lightning near 6 Mile, Ashby, Wilton. But at this point, we don't have any warnings on this storm. So this storm is below severe limits, which is good. So we're looking and waiting to see whether or not the National Weather Service is going to decide to extend excuse me, that tornado watch farther eastward. So we'll see what happens with that. At this point, it's been trimmed away from the west, which is good. And if you're done with that line, you're done with a severe threat. Tuscaloosa, you're done with a severe threat. Walker County, Winston County, Hale County, you're done with that severe threat. And then locations west of that. So Greene, Pickens, Lamar, Fayette, Marion, you're all done with the severe threat. You can go to bed. You can sleep well because your severe threat's over and we are going to be quiet into the weekend. I do want to pass along that the Birmingham office has canceled this tornado warning. So we are done with any tornado warnings for the time being in central or north Alabama. We don't have any tornado warnings to talk about right now. We have that one severe thunderstorm warning that does include parts of north Alabama, including in our area, Coleman. And I'll take you back to that Sky Cam, because this is what we're looking at. It's still very windy from this view. You can see this pole here shaking, and it's hard to see much just because, first of all, it's dark, and second of all, it's raining so heavily. But this is what a lot of folks are going to be dealing with as this moves through. Let's see here. We are getting the official cancellation of that tornado watch for some of the counties that I was telling you that you were kind of done with that severe threat. You're going to see a couple of these counties pop off here. And notice, no tornado warnings. So it's been a while since we haven't had any tornado warnings in our area, and we are very grateful for that. The weather at this point, the worst of the weather does look to be down in the Mobile area in southwest Alabama, like the areas like Mobile County, like Baldwin County that James was just telling you about. That's where we have that better instability. And so fortunately, for the time being, things have quieted down quite a bit.
All right, so it's 11:03. I'm James Spann with Taylor Serrano, and again, things are nice and quiet right now. We have a lot of rain, have a lot of lightning, but I'll be honest with you, the fact that we've got this rain, it's great because we've had so many wildfires burning today. And again, we've got Cullman County under a warning, but really and truly, I don't think that's verifying because remember, to be severe, you've got to have winds of 58 miles per hour or 1-inch hail. We have no hail problems tonight, and the winds we've seen, the reports up here have not been that great with this line of storms. Really, the gradient winds earlier today have been more of a problem than the thunderstorm winds for Coleman County tonight. But again, technically, they're under a severe thunderstorm warning. Other than that, there are no warnings for any part of our area, which is great news. So again, let's check the expiration time of the warning for Cullman. Taylor, it goes out at 11:30. And again, the line should be probably out of the county before that. And again, it's a little difference in the way the Birmingham Weather Service office handles this in Huntsville, but that's okay. Again, we'll watch all of this. Let's look at the storms coming into Birmingham, and we just don't see a lot of lightning. The air is not unstable. And I'm telling you, if we had unstable air, this would be a really red letter day, I think. It would have been a horrible day. But by the grace of God, we didn't have unstable air. We've had damage. Understand, a lot of people have we have tornado damage tonight. We have trees down on cars and homes. It's been rough. I don't want to lessen what's happened, but it could have been a lot worse, I think. So again, you can see heavy rain coming into the Birmingham metro, heavy rain falling in the western side over here, places like Bessemer, Fairfield, Inslee, Forestdale, Graysville, Adamsville. And that's going to come right on through Birmingham, Vestavia, Hoover, Pelham, Alabaster, and then coming out into the eastern side. But notice it's just, we call this junk convection. That's what you're looking at right now. It's just junk convection. It's not especially organized. It's outflow dominant. It's entering a more stable air mass, and it's a phase where things are kind of winding down for the evening, which is a good thing. We'll sit with you in Cullman. We are. So let's go back up to Coleman County. There's a warning here. As long as there's a warning, we're going to stay with you in Coleman County. That's what we do here. Let's look at the Sky Cam from Cullman, if we can do that. And let's take a look and see what it looks like, because that line of heavier rain is right on top of the camera, which is about right there. So if we can take the Sky Cam, or if maybe Taylor, there we go. Thank you, Dennis. So let's pan down toward US 278. Let's look at the traffic down there, Taylor, and see what it looks like on the road. Okay, thank you, Taylor. That's Highway 278, just east of downtown Cullman, and things look good. We have lights, power's on. The wind does not look excessive. It's raining heavily. Certainly not as windy as it was earlier today. But again, the Weather Service in Huntsville, they're going to keep that warning up for a little while longer. And again, as long as we have a warning in effect for Coleman County, we'll stay with this. And when we're done with it, we will go and do a special late newscast with our crews in the field to report on some of the damage. I do know we've had tornado damage in Pickens County tonight. We've had tornado damage inevitably in parts of Perry and Bibb counties. I know we've had tornado damage in parts of Bibb County tonight. And we're waiting really on official confirmation before we report a lot of things. But I will tell you that they are working at this point on rescues in parts of northern Bibb County. Been talking with Kirk Smith, the EMA director in Bibb County, and Spruce McCree. He's the chief of the fire department down in Briarfield. And it's pretty busy. I know for sure that we've had at least one mobile home overturned with entrapment that was on Booth Lane in Briarfield. That was earlier tonight, and there's tornado damage. There's no doubt there's been tornado damage in Perry and Bibb counties with that violent signature we saw on the radar earlier tonight. But we just don't know much beyond that. It is so hard to get back information after these things happen in terms of the extent of the damage. Was anybody hurt? How many people were hurt? We just don't know that right now. But again, we have journalists, and that's what they do. We do weather, and they do news, and they're going to find out for you and report back here in just a little bit. The reason we're hanging with you in weather is because we still have, for a little bit longer, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for basically the eastern part of Cullman County. The western part of Cullman County, you're out of the warning, and you're done with severe weather. If you're out here in Battlefield and West Point, Jones Chapel, your risk of severe weather is ended. It's still raining there, but it's pretty much over, and then everybody to the west are in good shape. Let's pop the tornado watch on here, and let me show you the counties that are out of the watch. And again, thankfully, this is a one-and-done event. So the severe weather risk is over for Winston, Marion, Walker, Fayette, Lamar, Tuscaloosa, Pickens, Greene, Hale, Sumter, Marengo, and Choctaw. And by the way, there's been tornado damage in Choctaw County. I posted some of the video. In fact, I'll show you that here in a second. But again, all these counties, you're done. No rain after this rain moves out tonight through the first part of next week. We still have a tornado watch for a little while longer for some of the counties in north, central, and south Alabama. If you're over here in Anniston, Gadsden, these storms are weakening. And your big problem was the gradient winds we had today. Those howling winds during the day in advance of the line of storms. With the actual batch of rain coming in, it's actually a good thing because it's going to put out these fires that are burning across the state because of the high winds today and the fact that so many power lines were arcing after trees came down on them. So you have to look at it in a positive way here is what we're trying to do. So again, if you're in East Alabama, the odds of severe weather are not looking especially high at this point. It's just going to rain. The winds will continue, and once the storms pass, the winds will die down. But there are no tornado warnings in effect for our end of the state. All of the severe weather in terms of tornado activity is now down around Mobile. But again, the reason we're here, it's that one little sliver here in Cullman County. So let's go back to the radar. And again, the minute we get this warning out of here, we're going to start a late newscast that will involve reporters in the field, and we'll get additional information on some of the things that have happened here. And I'll give me a chance to check on some of the sources that I have. In fact, I'm just asking one if there's been any injuries in his part of Bibb County. Spruce says that rescues are complete, and they've gone through the entire community down there, and he works that 139 corridor, which is Briarfield down to Ashby, almost down toward Randolph, and we'll see what he says here. But again, we've got technically a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the eastern part of Cullman County. Again, this Joppa and Baileyton, Holly Pond, Hanceville, these communities out here in the eastern part of Cullman County for this heavy rain that's moving in. And really, there's not a single lightning strike here. It's always kind of hard to issue a severe thunderstorm warning with no lightning and no thunder. But again, Huntsville's doing this just out as a precaution, thinking there might be some gusty winds in here. And there are, there's no doubt. It has been a windy day, probably the windiest day of the year. With in every single county that we serve, we have trees down, we have power lines down. Let's look at the power outage map real quick. Taylor, again, this is kind of a new product that gives you an approximate idea of how many people have no power. And you can see that in Jefferson County, this is suggesting 12,000 people have no power. And again, this is not officially from Alabama Power Company. It's from different sources, but typically it's pretty reliable. In Walker County, 4,000, Tuscaloosa County, 3,000, 2,500 in Blount, 1,000 in St. Clair, and 1,000 in Shelby County. So again, this is what we've been dealing with, but we're just thankful that the storms are weakening. So let's go back to the big picture, the radar and what it looks like across the entire area here. And we have the heaviest rain falling from near Huntsville down to Birmingham. Huntsville, Coleman, Birmingham, western Shelby County, parts of Bibb, Perry, and Dallas counties. 3 lightning strikes area-wide, and that's it in the last 10 minutes or so. And that's great news. The storms continue to weaken. Rain is pushing into East Alabama. Dew points have been in the 40s over here. It's a stable air mass. So we think the severe weather threat is slowly winding down at this point. The big problems are down in the southern part of the state. And again, I know there's been tornado damage in parts of Marengo County and parts of Choctaw County. It's been a pretty rough night down through there. In fact, tell you what, bunch up WEX 05 real quick, Dennis. I'll show you some of the damage down in Choctaw County. This is what it looks like down here. And again, it's awfully hard to see at night. You see an ambulance there on the scene. And there's been considerable tornado damage in parts of Choctaw County around Gilberttown. And this is from a Facebook follower that sent this in. A lot of folks follow me from that part of the state, and I'm honored that they do. And this is the same tornado that went into parts of Marengo County and caused damage around Nanophilia and Sweetwater and Half-Acre, Dixon's Mills, that part of Marengo County. And it's always a situation where you basically need the first light of day the next day to see how bad the damage is, because you're working out there with a flashlight, and it's just so hard to see what's going on. But we have similar scenes like that in parts of Choctaw, Marengo, Perry, Bibb counties tonight where there's been tornado damage. And of course, almost everybody watching us, you've had wind damage today because of gradient winds with downed trees and power lines and so many power outages. So let's come back to me on the radar. It is 11:13, and again, we're going to hold this a little longer, and then we're going to go into a special late newscast tonight. And the good news I can tell you from Briarfield in northern Bibb County, there was one injury that was taken to a hospital, another minor injury, but no fatalities. So again, in the Briarfield area, we've had 2 injuries, no fatalities with that tornado that came up through the southern and eastern part of Bibb County. And so that's great. But again, my concern is for areas south of there where that signature looks so bad. If you watched us earlier tonight, you saw that deep, deep, deep blue on the debris signature, which is always a bad sign. But again, so let's go back up here one more time, and there's one lightning strike. There's no severe weather in progress really anywhere. And I know technically there is a warning for Cullman County until 11:30. It's 11:14, and we got heavy rain falling here. There's no thunder. There's no lightning at all. We've had no report. You've had no reports of any wind issues in Cullman, have you?
Nope.
So these storms are not severe at this point. So what we're going to do in about 5 minutes, we're going to transition from weather to news. And we will start our newscast that would typically be at 10 o'clock at 11:20 or so tonight. So thanks for staying up late with us. And again, if you're in Coleman County, just understand we have heavy rain, some gusty winds, but there is this stuff's not even close to being severe based on the standard definition, 58-mile-per-hour winds or 1-inch diameter hail. And again, the warning is for the eastern part of Coleman County, and this is no tornado warning. Remember, we don't provide wall-to-wall coverage typically for severe thunderstorm warnings. In an event like this, we've done some of that tonight because of the tremendous wind, kinetic energy with this system. But as things are winding down tonight, the severe weather threat is pretty much fading fast. And the odds of any severe weather problems here are looking pretty low in Coleman County. But again, technically, there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 11:30. And let's expand the radar out. And if you're in Anniston, Gadsden, East Alabama, again, we're not ignoring you, anything like that. But if there's no severe weather, there's no severe weather. And there's no severe weather in the state right now on our end of the state. Now, down in South Alabama, that's a different story. And earlier tonight, it was a different story. And during the day today, we had the gradient winds that were so high and so dangerous. But it's just basically a large mass of rain. Heavy rain falling in Birmingham, heavy rain falling in parts of Shelby County. And the winds are a bit gusty. But again, there's no evidence of any severe weather in progress. And again, I would consider the rain a blessing. It is a good thing because of the number of wildfires. Colleen Van Zant with the Alabama Forestry Commission sent me a note today. She said, I got 40 wildfires going on here, 40. And they don't have the manpower to deal with that. They really don't. I mean, they do. They get, fire departments to come in and assist them. But they had one fire up in Coleman County where the flames were going 30 feet in the air. And so this rain is just tremendous. It is putting out those wildfires. I've seen some fire departments posting, thank goodness it's raining because it's putting out these fires. So that is helping to put out the fires, and the severe weather threat is fading. And again, it's just awfully quiet right now. So again, we'll hold it. Any reports of damage from you, Taylor? Anything I'm missing here?
No, we do have a new tornado warning south of our area for Dallas and Lowndes counties.
Okay. And again, we'll look at that real quick. This is going to be in the Montgomery television market. And the way it works in television, every county is assigned to a TV market based on the viewing habits of the people that live there. And for those that live in Dallas County and Lowndes County, they watch Montgomery television. So let's go down and look at that real quick for those that, and of course, what's happening here is we make the transition from the traditional television model to the streaming model. These boundaries don't make any sense anymore because anybody can watch anybody these days. But again, this is your tornado warning polygon for parts of Dallas and Lowndes counties. Montgomery is here, and again, you can see possibly a tornado that's located here, which is located down in the far southern part of Dallas County. This is Selma. This is U.S. Highway 80. And again, this is the Alabama River right here that goes down into Wilcox County. And again, that possible tornado would be right in through here. This is down Alabama Highway 41, runs out of Selma, down to Sardis and down to Camden. Possible tornado here, moving to the northeast. And again, that will be crossing out of Dallas County into Lowndes County. The greatest danger initially is south of US 80. It might be near Highway 80 in Lowndes County, west of Montgomery at some point down the line here. But again, our friends in Montgomery will be covering this for our friends that are watching down there in Dallas and Lowndes. So one more time, it is quiet, and we can pretty much declare the evening just about done. Can't promise that. There are no promises in the weather business. I mean, none. But again, for up this way, you can see it's just raining. The air is increasingly stable. It's been stable much of the day today, but the wind fields are decreasing. The low-level jet is decreasing. And again, there's just not much happening right now. And the storms in Coleman County are well below severe limits. So at this point, it's coming up on 11:20. We're going to stop our weather coverage and go into our news coverage. And again, we'll be back with weather updates here during this newscast. So we are going to wrap up our long-form weather coverage tonight and go into ABC 3340 News at 10 o'clock that starts now.
ABC 3340 News starts now with a Weather Authority storm alert. And tonight, as we come on the air, strong storms have left damage in some parts of our viewing area, parts of central and west Alabama under a tornado watch until 1 a.m.
And taking a look through our sky cam right now, you can see a rainy, soupy night right now. Our severe weather coverage, though, continues at this hour. Our Stephen Quinn is in Shelby County, and we hope to get to him soon. Bobby Portavant in Bibb County. But first, let's go straight to Alabama's chief meteorologist, James Spann. Right now, James.
Well, the good news, the severe weather threat is winding down for the northern half of Alabama. The main problems are down in the southern half of the state. We technically have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the eastern part of Coleman County. But again, the storms there are well below severe limits. They're weakening. And for those of you in Birmingham, heavy rain is falling. We have heavy rain in parts of Shelby, Bibb, eastern Cullman, parts of Blount counties. All of this will ultimately affect Anniston and Gadsden. But again, based on the thermodynamic fields and the weakening wind fields, the chance of additional severe weather is low. We'll take a look at our tornado watch. We still have some counties under a tornado watch, but really not many. A lot of counties have been cleared out. Notice the risk of severe weather has ended west of Birmingham. All of West Alabama, you're done. No chance of any severe weather. A tornado watch in effect from Huntsville down to Birmingham and Montgomery. And we do note we have a tornado warning, Polygon, for parts of Dallas and Lowndes counties down to the south and west of Montgomery. We'll check that power outage map really quickly that Taylor showed for a second. And again, the really big problem today came from the gradient winds we had before the storms arrived. But I will say we have had tornado damage tonight. We know we've had tornado damage in parts of Bibb, in parts of Perry, in parts of Marengo, and parts of Choctaw counties. And again, we will know much more about that tornado damage at the first light of day tomorrow. But the good news I can tell you, we've had no confirmed reports of any fatalities. Had a couple of injuries at Briarfield in northern Bibb County with that tornado. But again, I don't think they were life-threatening. But it's still early, and we don't know a lot about what's happened in some of the rural areas, but we'll find out more overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. But again, the bottom line is the risk of severe weather is fading fast. We'll check the 10-day forecast. Have much more weather coming up in minutes, so stay with us.
Thank you, James. Our ABC 3340's Valerie Bell is en route to Pickens County, where there are reports of damage in Gordo on Benvola Road.